Alright guys, the Surefire EDC1-DFT, their new turbo line. This is the 18350 body version of it. Specs 650 lumens with 95,000 candela, 45 minutes of runtime. It has a high mode and a low mode. I wanted to throw it for a while. I've tried a bunch of different ones, Cloud Defensives, Mod Lights, Malkovs. Recently I've been getting into the Convoys, which are a Chinese brand, but the things I love about them is they're less than 10% of the price of these Surefires. They're like $16, $17. They are from China. You have a lot of LED choices, so you can get a W1 for a more narrow beam, which I believe that's what the Surefire is using here. A W2, which is slightly more spill, less throw. SFT40, which is a great all-rounder. They just have all the other options that you can kind of choose from. And plus, you can Lego the bodies and different tail caps with that. So I got a couple of different ones and enjoyed those, but the things I didn't enjoy about them was honestly the tail cap and the durability. Now, it did not break on me, but basically those Convoys were just a circular tube of aluminum. Whereas this one, I mean, if you look at the head, which is bigger than the body itself, most of this is just electronic protection and the drivers. That's a big chunk of it. I feel like I can trust Surefire with any kind of drops, you know, scrapes, you know, things like that. With the Convoys, I'm sure you could drop it, but it definitely wouldn't hold up as well as I'm sure Surefire, Mod Light, or Cloud Defensives, or even Malkovs. Plus, I feel like the drivers on these are a little bit better. I've heard good things about the Surefire drivers as far as their time and as far as their output, as far as regulated output. But another big thing was those tail caps, the switches. All the Convoys have a reverse clicky, meaning you have to fully depress, then let go, and it would activate the light. Whereas this is a forward clicky, so you can half press it, and it'll be momentary, and then a full click will keep it on. And this also a good way to go to the low mode, which is just 2 clicks. So half press, then you have the 25 lumen low mode. Now this isn't a great like floody light for whatever purposes you may need, but an absolute laser beam. Now this is an indoor dimly lit warehouse. I have the exposure and white balance locked, but the intensity on this is amazing. Now those Convoys came pretty close, if not close to this one. But like I said, all the other benefits I'm getting with this guy is just something that I finally kind of look forward as I was getting a light. And another thing is you can use this head, I think, on some Mod Light bodies, which I may do. Just to get the 18650 style body, I may throw it on a Mod Light, but the tail switch was a big factor for me, plus the durability. Now this thing is retails for over $200. I got it on sale, which when I found out the price of it, I went ahead and grabbed it. I wasn't too sure about the clip, obviously, until I got it in hand, but once I got it, this thing works really well. It is not a deep carry flashlight, but I'm not one to really care if it's deep carry or not. That's not a factor for me. It may be for you. I'm just talking from my own experience, my own needs. But yeah, absolute beam. I've enjoyed using it. The runtime feels like it's been longer than the claimed 45 minutes, and the turbo stays on for a while before I notice any step downs. Unlike some lights I have, for example, my Night Core, I have that flat EDC25. That thing only has 10 seconds of turbo. I mean, which I don't need 3,000 lumens, you know, cranked out for a long time. That's really for an emergency purpose. It's not a realistic need, but I do like the output. Just an all-around flashlight. It's not as much of a pocket hog as I thought it would be. For example, this is my pocket here. Let me get it. All right. And that clip just slides in super easy. I never have an issue with it. I thought at first it would be like that. It's kind of like the Cloud Defensive clip. They have a nice spring clip that just works real well. It's very smooth, doesn't catch on anything. It's just another advantage with this guy here. Otherwise, I've enjoyed it. I do want to get a longer body with it. Like I said, absolute laser beam. If you're looking for a floody light with high color, you know, CRI, or a neutral tint, this isn't it. But if you want an absolute laser beam that you can probably smack somebody in the head with as a hammer and still work, these Surefires would go. Plus, made in the USA, that's another bonus. And you know, I just heard good things. Plus, oh, another thing I noticed with after handling a lot of different models of lights, the threading on the cap and the head Surefire has got to be the smoothest, I mean, it just feels buttery smooth turning this. Other lights I've turned, cranked, or tightened, they felt pretty gritty. Some of them were okay, but not as smooth as the Surefire's here. Plus, on the head itself, they got double gaskets in there, the O-rings. They have a large one right here at the bottom and a tight one, or a smaller one here. It was a little tangled, but I got that straightened out, so I feel like this is going to be a lot better in any kind of wet conditions as well. But that is just my quick review of my Surefire EDC1-DFT. They are on sale currently at Borelli, and depending on when you see the video, it might no longer be the case. But if you guys find these at a good price and you don't mind the bigger head, definitely grab one. I'm probably going to get the body and a couple spare batteries for this guy. I've also tested flat top 18350s, and they work, and these also work with the CR123s. The output on using CR123s will be lowered, but it's still like 55,000 candela, which is a nice throw. But there you guys go.